Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus guys, giving you more of the meta. So once again, I want to show you a defensive scheme I've been using online. I'm going against a person that wins 70% of their games. He plays strictly with the Packers. Almost 300 games played online, so it's surprising on how well I handle this guy. I got him the rage quit based on his inability to really do anything on offense. And then basically me just shredding him on basically his defense. His defense couldn't stop me at all. If you guys want to see basically my offensive scheme, I've got a whole scheme broken down for the spread offense. I'm running a different version of this, and I'll be writing this up pretty soon. Just takes time to go and do write-ups, but if you guys are interested, you can go to my Patreon. You can see how I run my offense and how I read coverages beforehand and be extremely efficient on offense. So let's go ahead and jump into this gameplay. I'm actually using the teleprompter so you guys can see exactly my adjustments, and I'll try to stop the play a little bit as we're going through. With this play. Once again, I'm using the Dolphins. I just like the team. I just wanted to settle in with a team that's got a good quarterback, some speed offensively. So when I'm running my defense, I always use match coverage. I think a lot of people still struggle with match if you're not familiar with it, if they don't know how to attack it. My other adjustments is I do tackle conservative. Option, I always do conservative. I want to take away the ability for someone to run with a quarterback if they use a read option. Not as common as it used to be, but that's obviously one of the reasons. And then I always base a line because I want to get my guys, I want to give my opponent the same look every time they snap, and then I make adjustments from there. So I scored 7 points on my offensive series against him. So now we're on defense. We need to get a stop. One of the things I like to do is, as my base defense, I put a cover one contain is my base defense because that puts one of my guys in a spy. This is a really good run defense to actually have in your back pocket. I switch out the overshoot for basically the overload. And then also what I do is I put the adjustment for my last audible and I put it in palms. There's going to be another adjustment you'll see me do. Now, out of the huddle, I always come out of cover 6. Cover 6 is my base defense, and I kind of like make adjustments from there. He's spread Y flex, so in other words, he's got 2-2 formation where he's got 2 wide receivers on one side, one on the other. And really what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and just see what my opponent likes to use. I'm either going to use this guy. In certain situations, I'm going to go ahead and use this guy down. And usually when I'm just trying to get a feel from my opponent, I'm going to go ahead and use the middle linebacker. Now, his running back is on this side, so ideally what you want to do is you want to make it difficult for his blockers to reach and settle. So what I like to do is I like to take my defensive line and shift it towards where the running side with the running back is. If he's going to hit me with a counter play, I have no problem with that. I'll let him go ahead and take that, but I'm going to go ahead and try to take away from the inside zone. So let's go ahead and see if I set up my defensive line correctly. Okay, see what happens here is now I shift this guy over. So if this guy comes and blocks, he's going to block this guy. This guy has to reach, block right here, and usually going to get the double team on this defensive tackle, and that's going to give me a chance to go and shoot the gap. You'll see me do that a little bit later on. But I've got run support here. I've got this guy's in a run support, and then I've also got this guy's got pass responsibility. It'll come down as a run support. But you could see that basically what this is with just a simple set like this, my running defense is pretty sound if he tries to do an inside zone. And most players like to do zone plays right off the gap, right for the beginning. You can see right here, I miss my responsibility. But you can see that the run fits were actually sound right there, and we get him, keep him to a 3-yard gainer with arguably one of the best running backs in the game. So inside zone worked out pretty well defensively for me in that type of situation. So he goes into gun doubles, so meaning he's got 2 wide receivers on each side. He's got a running back in the backfield to stick with. I think this is where I went ahead and I made a switch. I was trying to put in my one defense, which was going to be the cover 3 cloud. I find it. But unfortunately, I don't have my defense set up correctly. So now I'm in a generic defense. This is not a good defense for me to run. I'm kind of scrambling to make things, making an adjustment. I get off the wrong guy. I've got the high safety I'm using. And unfortunately for me, he just throws a table route, and I have man-to-man coverage. He no huddles, which is obviously not the good situation. I go ahead and try to jump into cover 2. And right here, he actually takes off this quarterback versus the cover 2. it makes a good decision right there. So I just try to switch things up, and I'm in the odd defense. I used to run this before, but I think the 2-4 is a little bit better. I think the fits are a little bit better. So now I'm going to go back and settle into my defense, which is cover 6. He's doing wing slot. So this is a heavy set, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Let's go ahead and see what kind of adjustments I'm making with the defensive line. So defensive line, he's got this running back right here. So I've got a throw to the run on this side. This is why I go ahead and take my defensive line and shift it over, because I want to make this guy not a part of the blocking. This is forces kind of like double teams right here. This is double teams. And these guys are going to be able to get out. I've got a flat defender that's going to come down. He plays a run fit. The only guy that really doesn't play a run fit is this guy, and that I think that might be a guy that actually I go ahead and use her in this defense. So see how I go ahead and use her this guy? I'm not worried about these guys beating me over the top because they just don't have speed. You know, these guys are the threat. They could potentially come over, but I'm not worried about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use her these guys, knowing that this side is pretty much well locked up offensively. And I guess I switched off for some particular reason. I should have been playing that safety and playing that run fit, but worked out for me. That's kind of like, you know, one of those little adjustments or setups you could do. So I go ahead and basically shift these guys over, playing in the box right here, and he goes ahead and takes a shot up top. But I've got matching principles with a 94 speed defensive back, and I'm able to go ahead and play the ball. He actually tries to challenge me over the top, because I've got the coverages over the top, I'm able to go ahead and get that interception. So I probably should have played the safety on the far side to try to protect against the run if he's aggressive. But he basically went ahead and ran the ball and then came back and took a shot play, because the Packers have really fast, good receivers, or average receivers, but they have fast receivers. And because I had speed in the backfield, I wasn't able to do that. Now, notice the ball's on the 1 yard line. Notice the score when we get into the next series. I basically took the basically marched the ball down 99 yards against them with my spread ebook to go ahead and go up a score. So up 14-0. Right here, I'm actually going ahead and making an adjustment. I'm throwing in a dime package so I can actually have this against any kind of 5 wide type situations. You'll see that I go into it. He's doing I-form wing. So I'm going to go ahead and once again stay with the cover 6. I'm going to shift my guys over because the strength of the formation is right here. So it's going to make it a little bit harder for his blockers to come my way. Shift my guys over. Now, notice that this guy really doesn't have any kind of a pass responsibility, because he's got these running backs in the backfield. He's got the wings right here, and there's a single wide receiver on the backside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the defensive adjustment. I man this guy up. So he's got a run fit. So if he comes back, he's got a run fit. But this guy's got a run fit right here. I shifted the lines over. These guys got run fits. If he decides to go ahead over the top of the coverage, I've got basically deep coverage. But now this guy's a free agent. He has got no pass responsibility other than anything coming over the crossing over the middle of the field, which with this defensive, this offensive formation, I'm not really worried about it too much. So we're just going to go ahead and bring this guy down to the box for extra run support. And you can see right here, because I shifted the line, I was able to go ahead and lift one of his blockers, get in the backfield and get him for a 5-yard loss. So that was a good situation to be in based on what he was looking to do. This guy wanted to grind the ball as much as possible, and because I'm shifting my defensive line and making it difficult for his blockers to do stuff, he just really wasn't able to go. So now he goes into tight open as his formation right here. Once again, I'm going to shift away with my defensive line to try to take away this stuff. And my responsibility is that this guy should reach, this guy should reach. My responsibility is to shoot the gap. And I've got this gap adjustment right here, and this guy's going to be my backup adjustment for the run fits. Right here, basically he throws in bench, and he throws to the quick outs, and that's just gobbled up. 3rd and 9 situation, just not good for him. No huddles out of frustration, I think, because my guys are out there. I'm going to spread my defensive line out, hopefully get the one-on-ones on the outside. And my responsibility is to take care of the three he throws over the top, and Clausen gets another interception. He's trying to get over the top of stuff, just makes a bad throw. This guy's played almost 300 games. He wins 70% of them. He was just making a lot of bad decisions, and he just didn't really know how to, play against this match defense. He was just having a hard time with it. So back at it again. He's in this wing slot. I'm going to stay with cover 6. This is my base defense. I'm going to ship these guys off because he's got more blockers on this side. And once again, this guy should block right here. He should block right here. My responsibility is to hit this gap. I got him coming down into the gap, and I've got this guy coming down into the gap. So let's go ahead and see what he does with the run. I go ahead and tighten this guy up so that he's forced to block this guy. So, and I'm going to go ahead and hide myself behind this tackle. So that's one of the things I did, was a little shift. Little subtle things like that actually messes up the blocking assignments. And you can see right here, we're able to jump into the gap right there with the inside zone, because I'm hidden behind the tackle. And the offensive lineman has to block the immediate threat when it comes to run blocking, all that stuff. So he goes into I-form close flex in this type of situation, and I'm going to just run with this cover 6. So right here, I think this is where I go ahead and make an adjustment. A lot of people like to run. You got blocking right here with the stretch play. So that's why I took the defensive line and shifted off to the side, because I really don't have. I only have kind of 2 blockers opposed to 3 blockers. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and user this guy on the back side, because I can rally to go ahead and shut this run down if he goes this way. But if he comes to the back side, I can go rally and come down, and I've got a gap fit right here. And these guys are actually going to have to reach. So it's kind of a risk, but it's really kind of a smart way to run defense. You can see he actually goes to the opposite side right there, and he doesn't have anywhere to go with it. So basically he's out of it. Actually goes into empty set. This is the wrong defense. I did not want to run this. I actually go ahead and jump into it. I'm on the wrong guy with Jones. And he actually throws up once again to a corner out. He just could not get it. He tried to throw those corners and over the top right there, and I'm able to go ahead and get another reception. Basically just picked him off in every single series. I end up winning the game. He actually checks out. So, guys, if you do like these gameplays, these breakdowns, I'm probably going to try to go ahead and put up some rules on how I run my defense. But thank you once again for your support. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to try to show you some more offensive plays, but I'm going to try to give you guys defensive plays, because obviously defense is one of the key things to be successful with. If you could shut down the run, that makes your game a little bit more predictable, and then you make adjustments and make reads and take care of routes from there. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.